I'm
evening,
dancing
good
to
evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to
Hi.
another episode of Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Look, my guest is here. Look, we both jamming in the
Yeah, I'm
background.
like
So we hoping you
dancing to
guys.
the intro and that something. So hey, how you doing?
So thank you, Dr.Jua'Nese for coming here tonight. But I want to give the little audience a little background
You go
of
ahead.
how we met. So it's by purpose.
Absolutely.
It's how the cosmos aligned it. And before audience, I want you to know, I've been rattling. You see Dr. Karen on here. So I have been blessed to meet people from all areas of walks of life. And I'm gonna put this disclaimer out here. I know everybody has their views. I know how everyone, practices with their faith or whatever it is. But Michelle here. Oh, wait a minute. I can say Dr. Michelle. I forgot.
Right.
I keep
I know.
forgetting.
Like, why aren't you doing that? Dr. Michelle.
So Dr. Michelle here this is a show where we do not discriminate against anyone's ethnicity, background, races, or what their beliefs is, because I think that if we learn from one another, not to say that we have to take on everything, but if we learn from one another, there may be something that will make you feel like maybe I need to research this. And what I'm all about is helping people find their alignment and find their true purpose. And this is what Dr. Jua'Nese is, because I'm going to give you what she is. She does life and relationship coaching. But for her, also in her other realm, which you will see, and I will give you the information. It is so cute. I love the part is that, our bodies is a house, yes. Right? Our bodies are houses that we're walking around with. So what is in our environment? So one of the giftings that Dr. Jua'Nese has is her energy holistic interior design, which will transform you, and it uses the approach to harmonize and make you align in your mind, body, and soul, blending with natural elements. Now, also, this is from the realm of holistic psychology. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you tell them how we met? We met at the conference. I fell in love with you, and then I just kind of stuck close to you the whole time. That's my version.
And that's my same version. There was a couple. That's my same version. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't get to tell you this, but when you walked in the room, I shifted.
You did.
I shifted when you walked in the room. And if you remember, I came to you, right?
You did.
I shifted. When you walked by, it was just something that just, yes, I felt.
Okay, I'm following her.
Yeah, I'm following. I'm like, something is here. She has something here that I need to hear. And when I went to the workshop, I really was in love with the workshop. So
yes, thank you so much.
So audience, I welcome you to the stage and to this forum tonight, this platform. And I will tell you, you will be researching her because she has some powerful stuff. And we're actually going to break down and figure something out to have her come back, because there's a wealth of information that she has. So Dr. Jua'Nese, can you explain, the life path and how it works in conjunctions with your birth to provide a holistic view for your life purpose?
It's so when we say life path, I just want to explain, we're talking about the life path that it's more of a deep spiritual connection on when we talk about life paths. Okay. So it is your ingrained purpose. It is here because you have to fulfill this purpose before we go. And how do we do that? We do it with numerology. So we're going to calculate the life path, all of your numbers in your birthday, add them all up. So that's month, year, and month, date, and year, and get to a single digit. believe it or not, that single digit is going to prepare you. It knows your purpose. It knows how to get there. And the way that we use the life path in conjunction with astrology is the life path is going to tell you how to get there. It's going to actually tell you the challenges you're going to face. It's going to tell you what is inside of that house inside of you in order to fulfill it. And what astrology is going to do is it tells us your personality. It tells us how you're going to react when these things come up, because your feelings, your emotions, your body, are you going to be, some things we have to be stubborn about. We just have to be stubborn. And so are you going to go into this new path that it's sharing because something has to be birthed, or are you going to fight against it? So that on a holistic view, you use both, and you can use many systems, but you want to know what your life path is, because that is going to be your GPS of how to get there.
And you said it well, and I'm very receptive of, I'm listening. I was sitting here listening to, and then we have some folks who will say, well, the light unto my feet is the pathway, the light unto my feet. Well, what is that light?
I agree. And there's a light. The light is there, right? I'm totally with you. But that light has a number.
Yeah. It's frequency. It's frequency. It's frequency. Everything is run by frequency. People, I hear it all the time. I've we discussed this in the class about how, some people feel as is, but everything is made by frequency. Even everything in this earth and realm is natural element of frequency. Absolutely. So the water may broke, but it's a certain timing that you were birthed to be here. A certain timing that you were birthed to be here. Right. So, that leads into the next question. Can you explain the planetary transits and numerology cycles? Because you talked about numerology. That plays a major life transitions. So, like, for instance, no, you have your birthdays, right? We celebrate the birthdays. People become 18, they become adults. See, this is what we're talking about. See, I'm bringing some things into captions that when people say, oh, you're not supposed to study numerology, but you're doing it because when your birth date, your social security number, all of these things are attached.
Your anniversary date, everything has a frequency and it vibrates in this world, everything. And so and I said to you in the conference, I'm going to say to your group, before you were born, your mom had a due date for you, not your name. She had a due date for you. And then when you were born, and then when you say, let me say it again.
Look, that part, because that was when I heard that's when something I was like, even before you knew your name,
you
had a due date. Can you let me say that's giving you some literally, that's some good real talk, because that's true. Because you explained it in the class that even before you were born, you had a due date, and you didn't even have your name.
Mom's story in your stomach, and the word said, "I knew you before you were born." Right. So why, when they say you are a month or two pregnant, you have a due date. That is your baby. It's due. It's your numbers that are surrounding you, and so after you give birth, all the card has is baby and your last name, your date of arrival, your time of arrival, your weight, and your length. That's it. You don't get a name for 24 to 48 hours later. So tell me that numbers did not accompany you here. It was here before you. There were numbers before there were letters. Okay?
Okay, folks, I'm telling you, look,
so now you got your numbers, and you had your numbers before you were born. Okay. And now you have this set of numbers that's floating around you already. Okay. Now you're born. And now you're born into the astrological sign. So you had these numbers, and guess what? Astrological signs on the wheels, what are they? Numbers. You cannot escape it. You can't escape it, right? So your question about the transits. There are so many planetary transits, but there are about 6 I want to highlight for you, right? So first, when you come in, you said we turn 18. No. In the world of transits, you do not become an adult, a full-blown adult. So this is for all the people who still have their children at home with them and thinking, when are they going to leave? They do not become a full-blown adult until you're 30 years old. Why 30? Because the frontal lobe of the brain doesn't close until around age 28, 29 years old. And so until that thing closes, some of us have soft spots. That's a soft spot. That doesn't close until you're a little bit older. So when the first Saturn return is when you become an adult. Most of us didn't know that we even had Saturn returns, but you get it somewhere between 29 and 31. That's the first one, right? And then you don't get another return until Uranus opposition. Whoa. That's the second major one, the Uranus opposition, what they call midlife. And that's somewhere around 40 to 44 years old. Then you get the next one from 44, you have another one that is called Cryon. And that happens between 49 and 50. This is when you have become ripe. Like the flower has finally gotten very ripe, because at the Cryon, that means you are full, you're ready to really do this work. You have gone through so much. And in between, you have Jupiter returns that come in every 12 years. You've got so many returns that's coming in, and not to forget your solar. But that's a long time. And it's hard to dissect. What am I supposed to learn in this? How am I supposed to grow? How am I supposed to apply it? So what's this sacred, very sacred energetic system? And I call it's sacred numerology, because it is a sacred spiritual path of what you are supposed to be moving in and what you're going to learn. And so this path, people don't like the word numerology, but I need you to know that it's all about energy. It's the energetics that are flowing through you. So where this sacred texts come into your life, Michelle, and the audience, you get to see how you develop in cycles every year. Everyone has a personal year. Everyone has a birthday. Everyone has a month that it helps you prepare. So I don't have to wait till I'm 30 to turn an adult, and then don't get a Jupiter return until 12 years later. No, you absolutely get to see how you're evolving on a day-by-day basis and an annual basis. Those are the personal years and the cycles, and you need to know them because they're quite powerful.
I know like for anybody who is, and when we talked about the quarters of how the year, of the whole year, you right. down and you go your first quarter, your second quarter, your third quarter, and your fourth quarter. So right now, we're in a fourth quarter. And I tell you, it's just really crazy stuff going on.
I know
a whole lot going on.
It really is.
And I'm gonna even go back to the conference. Most of us who are in the realms of doing holistic health, or trying to get our stuff booming and going, we're living and going through hell right now. And all that we pour out, the good that we pour out, it seems like we're not getting. And I'm not saying I'm blessed,
but it's happening. It's
happening, but it's happening for a purpose. And I always look at it as an enlightenment, because I'm telling you, I look at it, I was like, man, whatever I'm going through now, this is the harder for, because it's something great on the way. I don't know what it is. I feel it. And I think too, like I said, when you walked in the room, because it was just a few of us in the room.
Right.
When you walked by me, I said, woo. I said, let me go and say hello, because, a lot of time I know how it is when people come in a space, they don't really know anybody. Right. And this was our first. So I've always had that welcoming thing
I
with
appreciate
people.
That. Yeah.
I always do.
Happy to see everybody like, hi. And everybody's looking at me like, who?
Yeah, and I was like, wow. It was just something that gravitated me to you, and a couple others, and someone told me the other day. Dr. Karen had called me the other day, and she was talking about it. Somebody had said, I just love Michelle, the whole thing, and I mean, it was just. First of all, like you said, the room and the space. All of us who were there our houses were coming to get something.
That's right.
We were coming to pour into one another and be poured out, that we can pour this out. So that's the reason why I said, oh, Jua'Nese. I said, Jua'Nese, let me have you on the show so you can start. Because I will say a lot of people have looked at this movie Deliverance. Now that.
When I showed that.
That.
I know. Right.
That right there. That was like, I was like, wow. And I thought about it, I was like, wow. Because I'm gonna tell you, she gave out some of these numbers that when you look at what they mean, and it actually was a part of this house.
Yes. And that right there is, and I'm gonna get back to that, but I really want, maybe would it be helpful if I go through the numbers?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Really quick. Okay. Sure. So everybody's like, okay, what are the numbers? As I say, add your birthday up, get to a single, add it up, and you say today is 9/29. Okay. So you take 9, you keep that 9 there, you get to 29. I add the 2 up, the 2 and the 9. It's now an 11. Okay. 11 plus 9 makes it 20. Okay. Now I'm moving to the year. And so if you're born in 19, you're going to add a 1. So I was born in 19. And then, so now I'm 21. The number is 21. And then the last 2 digits, if you're born in 19, and if you're not born in 19 and born in 20, then you're going to add the 2, not the 0, because 0 is out. You're going to add the 2. So 19, 9/29, 19, and I'm not embarrassed to say my age at all, 69. I'm 55 today. So my year is 15. 6 plus 9 is 15, right? So now 15, I'm going to add to the 21. That's a lot to break down. You're like, I don't know, I can't do this on paper. But let's do it in chunks, okay? So 21, 2 plus 1 is what? 3, right? Now 15, let's look at 15, and I do 1 plus 5 is 6. So I take the 3 and the 6 together, and that makes 9. I am a life path 9. And Michelle, what's your life path as I go through all of these?
It was 6.
Really quick. It was 6. Yeah, and I love 6. Okay, so what is 1? 1 is leadership. Life path 1 is you are a leader. You are independent and you are innovative. You are always trying to see what's the best way to get this thing done. You're a 1, and a 1 is quite powerful. 1 is powerful because you are on the ball. It's all about how can I get this done? You are the leader. You're the leader. 2 is about harmony, cooperation, partnerships. When you look at relationships, 2 is the number for having a relationship. So if someone is a life path 2, people, places, and things you relate to in a very different way. 3, life path 3, it's all about creativity and communication. And that communication doesn't have to be vocal. It's how you're going to take this this creativity and put it out in the world. That's what's important. How are you going to get it out there? And then when you look at 4 is about structure. Okay, now you've put all this stuff in the world. You got independence. You know how to relate to somebody. 4 says, I need to put it in order. I need structure around it. Practicality, because you'll keep it in the woo-woo. Okay. 5 says, I have been working through 1 through 4. I'm tired. Let's have some fun. Let's be free. Let's go out and do some adventure. So 5, oh my God, they love life to the fullest. The problem with 5s, and I'm going to tell all 5s, and look at me when I say it, you guys have to balance yourselves because you love life. That means I love food. I love out. I love being out. I love people. I love sex. I love whatever my pleasure is. I love it. So you've got to balance that thing. But 5s are all about freedom, adventure. Don't try to lock them down. They're not going to stay. 6, so beautiful. 6 is about service, responsibility, and nurturing. They're going to like wrap you up. They're going to take very good care of you. Those are 6. Spirituality is like going inward. It's about how can I grow spiritually? Being very intuitive. You're going to be really having a very high spiritual connection. So when I see someone with a life path 7, I already know these are angels on earth. They're already angels on earth, and they are here to make this angelic experience the most that it could be. These are our angels, our gods, our Jesus, everything. That's them. They have the wisdom. 8, here is the powerhouse. If you're 8, life path 8, it's all about ambition. It's business. It is power. You will have material success. You will be and carry that thing very powerful. 9, it's about universal love, humanitarian, all of that compassion, mushy-gushy stuff everybody runs from. When you get double digits, now if your life path turns out to be an 11, a 22, or 33, right? Do not break those down to the single digit. Leave it at 11, leave it at 22, leave it at 33. The reason why is because this is a higher calling on your life. There's such a very high calling that you transcend normal numbers. You transcend that. You're in the mastery. So you're here to master that calling. Master that calling. 11 is a double digit of 1, and then it boils down to 2. So if you think about a higher calling of you leading a whole group of people and getting a message out and leading them from your heart. When you look at 22, that's the master builder, like 4. Master builder. You're going to build something so big, not for one person, but for a multitude. And 33 is the teacher. You are going to teach the planet. And those are 33. Those are the numbers. I just wanted to go over those real quick with you.
That is wonderful. And I am going to tell you where you can actually get some of this, where you can go on the website.
Yes.
Because and she will explain to you guys just exactly what she gave you was just a little bit tack into, but you're going to go here.
Yes.
You're going to go there. So
yeah, that's the site. If you go onto the site, go to, and I'm going to, you can peruse the site as much as you want to, but let me give you some quick hits on the site. Once you go into the resource tab, and there's going to be 2 things. The first part, you can put in your address and see how you vibe with your own address and the people in your house. Ooh, it can be fun. And then if you scroll down just a little bit, there's an ebook that I have, and that ebook is free. If you download that ebook, it will explain all of the numbers in great detail. And so you'll see house numbers and you'll see your numbers as well.
All right. So before we end, we're going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to come back with our final question. Because I'm telling you, this right here has been fantastic. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I am your host, Dr. Michelle Bolden Hammond. Look, I
That's
just
right.
got to
You
remember it.
are.
And tonight I have had my sister friend, Dr.Jua'Nese Williams here, who we will actually be doing some more work together. I can put that in the atmosphere. I'm speaking that into the atmosphere.
Yes, you will. I'm looking forward to it too.
Speak into that in the atmosphere. Right. So, audience, you have heard a lot. And like, again, I said, everyone has their views, but I like to expert to get other perspectives on different things. That's just how it is. If we all did the same thing, it would be a boring world. So I just like to hear the different perspectives because, again, there has always been, people beliefs, breakthroughs, but I can see sometimes you have shared stories. You gave examples of breakthroughs that didn't happen. Can you share, this is the last question, because like for me, even sitting through that workshop, it gave me a different perspective, especially when you talked about living. And I always said, this is your house, but when you're talking about your place of residence, where if you look back, and I think too, this goes along with the psychology of traumatic experiences and things that we've had. Yes. And this is generational stuff. But if you understand the houses and the inflammations, your zip code, those type of things, it opened my eyes up to, and I'm actually this week I've been going around, let me add these numbers together. Or I'm seeing, I'm seeing these numbers. I'm like, okay, let me see what this means. And let me feel what the vibes are, in my workspace, it's 18, whatever. It's making me think. But when you talk about your house, your environment, even what's been in there, you moved into an apartment.
It is so good. Like I have my clients that call me and they say, okay, Jua'Nese, I'm about to move out this place. I need you to this is where I'm looking at. I need you to do some numbers. Tell me if it's good for me. Why it's important is because, and you mentioned it, look at Deliverance, right? No one realized that the place where they lived in the movie was 113. What is 113? 5. A fifth house carries energy of overindulgence. There's alcoholism that will be usually in that fifth house because they're always escaping. It's a house of escapism. So they're going to turn to alcohol, drugs, all of these things will be present in a fifth house. And if you're not aware of that, you've got to say, man, it's amplified in here. It's amplified. And that amplified energy affects everybody, the pets, you, the children, your relationship, everything. So believe me, go ahead and add up your resident. You can go back on my site, put your address in there with the people in the house and see what is your house number, and then get with Michelle and I so we can break it all down for you.
It was a very, and let me say this, I've been a person of faith and birth, they always say you don't, your horoscopes and all of that type of stuff. But then I'm like, okay, everything is aligned, timing. They use a timeline when they go back to history. So you gotta stop being so overindulgent and putting the worst to everything. Because again, I have good intentions. I just like education. I like learning new things. And I always have to do the references.
Yes.
When they talk about astrology and the stars. Well, I think when the birth of the Savior,
amen,
wasn't it the star that shone bright that they followed, the Magites followed? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And
that is a part. That is a part of. They use the stars to follow and get to the direction that they had to go. Right. I just want people to understand that what has been dealt, it might not always seem what it is, but I'm a person who love to learn new things. So that's just me. And that's my 6.
That's your 6. I love it. I love 6.
That's my 6. The leadership. That's
right.
My leadership. That's my role. I'm innovative, the creative stuff. So, it's down to the T.
I'm telling you, when I saw you, I said, I'm following her. Like, you just know it's like a magnet. And, folks, I know you may be questioning, like, is this something I can take in? I want you to think about the last 3 places that you have lived. Write them down. And I need you now, write them down, go to that ebook, read about, take all those numbers down to 1, and really see what energy was unseen that was playing in the background that affects you. Write down the last 3, and you're going to say, wow, it is true.
All right. So, Jua'Nese, that was quick.
Right, it was.
But we definitely will be in touch again. And audience, again, go to the website. Look, don't too many people give away nothing free. So it's free that you can get the ebook. And I know it was a lot in depth what she gave you, but I will share my experience. I did it, and when my code came out, it defines me. That's who I am. I'm an innovator. I lead. I mean, it has so much stuff. I'm even going to share with some of the family with our ancestors. So yes, I said the word ancestors. So it actually tells, what was going on, what can go on, and learn about that too. So I would say just be open to learn new things and open up to things that you might seem that it might be not right, but sometimes we have to learn some things from another perspective as well, because we all have a gift within us for our purpose. And that's what it is. We grow on our purpose. We learn from our purpose. It's some things that some people are here who are gifted with that. She came and poured out to us. It was just so, I felt it. So I don't know I know everybody in the room, everybody in the room, we was like, wow. And what's so funny about that, for us who are in the realm of psychology and, all of that, most of us are 6s.
We are. If we are not a 6, we live in a 6, or we have been ancestrally embedded with the 6. Right, we are so powerful. And if you only knew what that was, like, let me unpack it for you. I really can unpack it all for you. Yeah.
So again, audience, until next week, and Jua'Nese, thank you so much for saying yes, and thank you so much for giving me the enlightening hubs.
Yes. No problem.
So audience, until next week, I have this mantra here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. If you don't feel that you're loved, just know that this leader here loves you back, and that you'll always be loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul. Until next week, take care.
Take care.